everybody, what's up? It's Chainsaw Jetta, and today we are doing a video about my chainsaws. I get asked a lot about what chainsaws I use, what bars do I use, all of my setups, what I like. So I'm gonna do all that. I'm gonna do what I like about my saws, what I don't like about my saws, and rate them, so stay tuned. And also, I have a challenge before we get started. The challenge is if we can get 1,000 likes on this video, I'm going to buy an MS-880. If you don't know what that is like the biggest chainsaw that you could just go out and buy. So that is the goal. Don't let me down. Let's reach 1,000 likes and let's get started in the video. Saw number 1. This is the MS-180 and I got a 12 quarter bar on it from Canon. And the MS-180 was actually recommended for me for my first gas saw when I was starting to become a chainsaw carver. So this is like a great beginner saw. It's like not very heavy and it's like just getting used to how a saw runs, how you can hold it and stuff like that. So one thing that I don't like about it, because I obviously have upgraded from different saws. So this saw, when I come and grab this saw, it's much more, I can feel the vibration of it more. So that's definitely one thing that I've noticed carving with it and carving with other saws, but still a great beginner saw. So I would like to rate this saw I'm horrible at rating stuff, so this is really hard. I would rate it, it's so hard. Okay, for a beginner, I would rate this like pretty high. So with this setup that I have right now, obviously you could switch out the bars and the rate would be different. But with this setup that I have now, I would rate it a 7.6. Saw number 2. This is the MS-201C. And I really like this saw. This is my favorite saw. The setup that I have on it is a 12 quarter, just as like the same as the MS-180. I don't do a lot of like big carvings, so a lot of my saws, the setup is this or smaller or slightly a little bit bigger, but I really like this saw. So the MS-180 is not a professional saw, but this one is. So I think the running time is actually longer on it, and it doesn't have like, for the vibration, there's a fly. For the vibration, you can't really feel it. That's why I really like it. I mean, you can still feel it. It's a chainsaw, you're gonna have that vibration, but there's like a bounce, there's like a spring to it. So you can kind of see when I push down on it a little bit. But I run this saw constantly. I even like block out with it because I do a lot of like medium-sized carvings, but this is definitely my favorite saw. I actually have 2 of them with a different setup, but I would rate this saw. The one thing I don't like about it is that when I go to refill it up again with gas and oil, it will not like start up really well. But once it goes, like it goes pretty good. It will go until it runs out of gas. But I would rate this saw a 9.6. Saw number 3. So I'm really only familiar with Stihl and their numbers and all the letters and what that means. So this is the Makita. It's a battery, so you have 2 batteries that you put in here, and I just threw a bar in here just for show. I haven't ran this saw in a long time. This was actually my first battery saw because I have a lot of Makita tools, so I decided to just stick with Makita, and I wanted to try out their battery saw. So this was like my first one, and like my very first videos, you can see me using this saw. I actually have 2 of them, and I do like it. I don't think it's that heavy. It's definitely not, like with the batteries in it, it's a little bit heavier, but, and you have to keep an eye on the oil. That's how like all of the battery chainsaws are, no matter what brand it is, you gotta keep an eye on the oil because it will run faster than the batteries. So that's my one and only complaint with battery chainsaws, but I really like it. It's kind of like like a nostalgic thing for me. Like I'd probably like have this, once we clear everything out in here, probably like, I don't know, make a frame of it and be like, this was my first like battery chainsaw during the beginning of Chainsaw Jenna. So I do like this saw, but like I said, I haven't picked it up because I've tried out other saws and I like them more. But this one, for like when I first tried it out, I thought it was like the greatest thing ever. But now I would probably rate it like, ooh, I don't want to give a bad rating. I'm horrible at rating stuff too, guys. So I would probably give this maybe a 4.8. I know that's kind of low. Saw number 4. So this is the Stihl MS-193. And I really like this one. This is also a C, so it's a professional saw. It has that like, takes away the bounce a little bit. The setup that I have is an 8-inch dime tip cannon bar. And you can definitely tell the saws that get used more because they're dirty and maybe the chains are a little loose than what you see on others. But I really like this saw. This is like my second most used saw. The setup, my first setup with a dime tip bar gas was the MS-150, and that blew up, so I no longer have that saw. So the next gas saw for the dime tip was this one, and I really like this one. It's a little bit heavier than the 150, but I don't mind it. You get used to it when you run it a lot, but it's light, it's easy, it's just, I don't know. I really like this one. I use this one a lot, and I rate this one a, what do I want to rate you, little buddy? Probably a 9.4 as well. Saw number 5. This is the MSA 140, and I have a 12 dime bar on it, you can see. And same with like the quarter. You can tell if it's a dime if you get like a dime, and you put it right up against your bar. So that's how you can tell. Also, I don't know if I said it was a cannon bar. You can check that out on their website too, but I really like this one. It's a battery. So this is like, so I have the Makita battery saws, and then I have this Stihl. And I would like to explore and try other ones like the Husqvarna, and I'd like to get like a DeWalt one too. But I really like this one. I mean, the battery saws are really great, especially if you are full-time in chainsaw carving and you're in the winter doing this outside. It's not fun. So being inside, locked up with a little heater or a fireplace or something, I don't know, keep you warm. You can carve away with your little battery saws. They're not as loud as the gas, so there's that. They're not as heavy, like it's pretty light. Like it's a battery saw, so it's not like as powerful as a gas saw. That's one thing that can be kind of frustrating, especially if you're used to running gas chainsaws. But I like it. I think it's great for like detail work. The setup that I have, it's like for detail purposes, the dime tip bar. So I rate this one, I really like Stihl, so I would rate this one like maybe an 8.6. That's what I would rate it. Saw number 6. So this is the MS-171. I don't run this saw a lot, but I think I compare it to the 180. It actually might be a little bit better than the 180. I don't think there's as much vibration as I feel with the 180. The bar, I actually don't know what the bar is at all. It's from Stihl, and I don't even think it's a carving bar. But it's like in between a quarter and like a toonie. So I don't actually know what bar that is. But this is the original bar that comes with the Stihl MSA 140 and the 120. So I just threw it on here because I did like the bar, and it's great for just kind of like shaping a little bit, like around a face or something. So I do like this saw. I don't run it as often because it's not like my go-to saw, like the 201. But I would rate this saw, I would maybe, like, if I didn't know anything about chainsaws or Stihls that much and someone told me that the MS-180 is a great beginner saw, I would say this one is like right beside it. So this is another great like beginner saw. And I would actually I got this bar from a retired carver, Rick Cox. He had a gouger, and I think I'm actually gonna put this on. I have to get a belt and everything with it, but I think I'm gonna put this gouger on the MS-171. I think that will be like a good setup. And the gouger bar is a really fun bar for like doing like deep cuts. It just kind of literally gouges out the wood, and it makes like really fun bark, or if you want to like hollow something out, you go in there and hollow it. But it has the same kickback as every saw ever made out there. Like the bar, the kickback is like right here in this area. Same thing with the gouger. But I would rate this saw it's kind of hard because I don't run it that much. For somebody who doesn't run it as much, I think it's better than the MS-180. What did I rate that one? What did I rate that one? Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna say like 6.4. Guys, I'm horrible with rating stuff. So saw number 7. So you'll have to take my word on it because I have tape on it, but this is the MSA 120. And the reason why there's tape on it is because we had to tape everything whenever we were part of the promotion of Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, which is on Netflix. You can watch it. It's a great movie, but we put tape on it and I'm leaving it on there so I could tell people that story because it's a cool story and why not share it with people? And during that promotion, I actually got the carved Pinocchio. If you haven't seen it, you'll have to go check it out on either my Instagram at Chainsaw Jenna or TikTok. So go check that out because it was really cool. And we still have him. You can see his legs. That's all that's there right now. Actually, don't look at him. He's torn apart. He needs a little fixing, a little loving. Anyway, so this is a battery saw. Same thing, you gotta check with the oil every so often because the battery lasts longer than the oil. I have an 8-inch dime tip cannon bar on it. I really like this setup. This saw is just so cute. This is like, I think their smallest battery chainsaws other than their like handheld one. But I really do like this saw. We have some fun plans with it, which hopefully we definitely will make a video. I'm not gonna give anything away yet, but I would rate this saw it's very weak. I shouldn't say it's very weak. It's definitely like on the lower scale. It's one of their smallest, it's their smallest chainsaw. So I would rate this, like it's great for detailing, for like furring or stuff like that, or feathering. I don't know, I really like this one too. Like it's lighter than the Makita. The Makita, I also had a 8-inch dime tip cannon bar on it, and I would prefer this one over the Makita. And also I think this battery lasts longer than the Makita batteries. So I would rate this one a 8.8. Saw number 8. So this is the 260, and I believe this is a 16-inch logger bar. I think this is also from Canon, and I like this saw. This is like my biggest saw that I have, believe it or not. And it's great for like blocking out bigger projects like I did with Cocaine Bear back there and other larger projects, but I don't really get to make super big projects, so I don't really pick this one up a lot. But it's a great saw when I need it, when it's kind of hard to get it started. I think the 260 is an older saw, so and usually the older stuff is better than the newer stuff. rates are just whatever. They're not accurate, so whatever I'm gonna tell you here, don't even listen to it. But the other thing is, this is also a 260, and I do not like this one at all. The tension release is actually broken, so it's really hard to start, and the chain is really dull, so it cuts like like a J every time. Yeah, that one needs a little taken care of. But the 260 that I would grab is obviously this one more. So I rate it a 8.3. Solid number 9. So this is Gartec. I don't even know how to pronounce it. But this was actually a Christmas gift from my dad. He thought it'd be a good saw for like furring detail, stuff like that. I don't like it. It's really great for in-house projects. Like if you have something you need to cut inside your house, I usually just grab a chainsaw. So I grabbed this, and there is like a guard that you could put on it, but I took that off. And I don't know, I just don't feel safe with it at all, like holding it, and you have to like press the button to start it up. And there is like the oil thing, you have to put oil on it. It's cute, and it's like great, like I said, home project, if you will. But I don't really use this for carving at all, or unless we're making a funny video with it. So I rate this, sorry Dad, I'd rate this a 1.2. Saw number 10. So this is actually my first Echo saw. I actually bought this from the Rick Cox. And it says it is a CS 361P. I don't know what any of that means, but yeah, I haven't used it a lot. It has a 12-quarter cannon bar on it. I haven't used it a lot. I don't really know a lot about Echo saws. I definitely feel the vibration on this saw more. I would say that. But if I like grew up with Echo, ran with Echo, I'm sure this would be like a pretty good saw, like on the top 5 or whatever. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know much about Echo saws. So I would compare this saw probably to the Stihl MS 193. I think it's like the same weight, maybe slightly heavier than the MS 193, but ooh, I don't know, because I know Ryan Cook uses this Echo brand. I'm not against it. I am open to all chainsaw brand, so I want to try the Echo. So let me know what you rate this CS 361P, because I don't even know what to rate it. So let me know your rate if you run Echo. This is saw number 11. So this is the MS241C, and I have the original bar on it still. I would like to swap it out. I believe that this is a 14 logger bar. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't even know what bar is on it, but I really like this saw. I tried this saw once in Cook's Forest. My parents had it. I ran it. I loved it. I think it's like, I would choose this saw over the 260. Believe it or not, I would. I like this one. I like how it runs. I actually like how it looks. I think it's lighter than, yeah, it is. It's lighter than the 260, and it's just like a good size for me. I feel like it's a good size for me. The downside about the saw is that it is discontinued, and this was like a brand new one that my dad found for me, so thank you so much. I really love this saw. I would rate this one a 9.7. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Just to let you know, I am not a saw expert. My ratings were all over the place, so if you are looking for a chainsaw, please do your own research. ask other people who have run multiple chainsaws and try them out. Like, I encourage you, if they're okay, if you have a friend that has chainsaws and you're interested in carving or how to even run a chainsaw, maybe ask your friend, see if you could borrow it, test it out, see if you like it or not before going and actually buying it. But yeah, please do your research. Thank you for watching. We will see you guys next time. Bye.